Hello, Capcom Unity. This is Gregaman here behind the mask. This was provided by one Cody Moonwolf Foster, something of a die-hard Okami fan. On my left, we have Tristan Corbett.
Hi, guys.
You guys remember him from the other streams, I presume. And I'm going to take this off now. It's pretty cool, though, huh? This was sent along with like a whole big stack of fan art way back. And that was before we even announced HD, so I think Cody is probably pretty happy today.
I hope so.
As you know, Okami HD was launched today on PSN.
Today's the day.
For $19.99. That's Europe tomorrow. And wouldn't you know it, we have a bunch of download codes to give away. I think we're going to give away a solid 5 on today's stream. So you will have a chance. If you want a chance to win one of these codes, you can tune into the Twitch TV live chat. That's twitch.tv/CapcomUnity. So yeah, we're just going to show you a little bit of the game today. This is sort of a few hours in, I think. And I guess this is after you fight Waka for the first time.
Correct.
The legendary poet. So let's go ahead and get this off of us.
Let's do it.
Before we scare everyone away.
Actually,
Well, why don't we switch? Because I do need to make chat. Just doing a little mic swap here. Tristan's actually going to play for us today. And,
all right.
I'm going to be taking a look at the chat as best I can. We may drop out occasionally because I'm on the guest line here and it drops your connection periodically.
Alright, so here we go. So like Greg said, this is just after we fought Waka for the first time. So we have a couple different abilities at the moment, or techniques as it were. We do have the bomb, and everyone likes explosives. So that's a good start. We have various bloom abilities. So we can bloom these. Earn a traveler's charm.
I want to know who in the chat right now has never played this game, HD or otherwise. Got one. Toshin's never played. Smelly Candle. There's a few of you. So the deal is you play Amaterasu, who is an actual Japanese deity. Actually exists, in folklore at least. The fabled sun goddess that is said to have created Japan by dipping her celestial brush into the ocean and then pulling it back out, and the droplets that fell from the brush formed the islands of Japan. But in this game, she possesses a wolf. And so it's kind of a unique take. Definitely one of the more unique protagonists, not just in Capcom history, but I think in all of game history. You know, she's sort of, I mean, since she's a deity, she's more powerful than most protagonists. And it's interesting how they were able to still create the sense of a threat when you're the most powerful thing in the whole world. And at the same time, it is a bit of a power fantasy game, you know, you're constantly creating life. You create life with every step. You can make the sun come out as you please. But at the same time, you are just a pup, you know, you have all of the mannerisms that a canine might have, you know, you fall asleep sometimes, you pee on stuff, you bite people.
You dig for stuff.
It's a true delight.
It is.
And the way she uses these godly powers is she uses this paintbrush called the Celestial Brush. Right here. And that's what he's doing right now. It's up to debate. Is that her tail? It looks like it's her tail.
You know, I never thought of it as being that. I always thought of it as sort of just being an otherworldly thing that wasn't really there. Yeah. I have heard people say that they think it's the tail. I mean, it does sort of resemble it, I guess.
It looks a lot like her tail, but
yeah,
at the same
it really
time,
does, actually.
Yeah, so it's not quite clear, but the point being, you know, she has these godly powers, and it's a very novel concept. It allows you to do these cool things. Like you were saying earlier, you can make stuff bloom, you can slash just about anything in the environment to some effect.
Yep.
And people asking, we are not using the Move, although this does support PlayStation Move. If you're into the motion control thing, it's definitely a cool way to play the game.
Yeah, I mean, it is definitely an improvement over the Wii. The Move is really, really quite accurate. I actually like using it myself. I sort of the first build of the game I had in the office worked with the move only, and so I kind of got used to it, and it is definitely a viable option.
If you have the sharpshooter accessory, feel free to try that out as an extra challenge. Play this game as though it were a shooter.
It's definitely for the advanced class, but yes.
This game has a day and night system, as we're seeing now, but as I said, since you're a god, you can just bring the sun back out at your whim.
Let's do that right now.
Later you can bring out the moon and change day into night, but he hasn't gotten that yet.
And here we go.
And yeah, you'll see the reviews have already started trickling in. Largely,
we're doing pretty good.
To great success. So
I'm pretty pleased.
I'm glad because this game, even when it came out back in 2006, 6 years ago already, if you can believe it. It was largely hailed by critics, but it got a little overshadowed. I think people just weren't quite ready for it yet. Most people who played it thought it was amazing.
And it was the end of a console life cycle too, so it was sort of, everyone had kind of moved on at that point by the time it came out. So it was definitely a tough sell for the era, I think.
But now it's back, and this is by far the best way to have experienced the game. So I'm really glad to see it getting the positive feedback it deserves.
Yeah, and the nice thing is it's held up so well. I mean, visually, it still is a very unique and just stunning looking game. This is definitely probably the best HD port I've ever seen us do. And yeah, I mean, it's great that not only it's such a good game, but it's also feels not really like that much of an old game. I mean, visually, it's really no slouch.
I mean, that's the thing is this game always gets talked about when people are talking about like art design or just like beautiful games, but it's also a really clever game. There's a lot of
yeah. I mean, there's so much depth to it. I mean, it gets a lot of comparisons to Zelda, which it definitely has kind of that feel to it, and then it's friendlier for a younger audience, I guess, to a degree, but it's also a very classic story, and I don't know, it's just there, like you said, there are so many good things to say about Okami.
It's practically a relief. People asking, we are giving away some download codes. I will do that via the live chat. I think what I'll do is I'll enter most of the code and then some question marks in place of certain characters, and I'll give you a hint as to what those characters are supposed to be. So if you're trying to win a code, I would definitely go ahead and boot up your PS3 now and go to the redeem code section of the PSN store.
Oh, is that how you do it? You just throw it and whoever gets it?
Well, no. So like I'm saying, you throw out most of the code, but you replace some of the letters with question marks, and then there's a little bit of deduction involved. Codes, they should work in Canada. I think that's all one.
Yeah, it should work in North America. Yeah. All right.
Yuri, unfortunately, is not with us right now, but he instructed me to give a shout out to the Brazilian viewers. Any of you watching from Brazil, appreciate you guys being here. Hope you're able to get your hands on this game.
Most definitely.
If there's a request for trivia, we can try and throw in a trivia question for one of these codes.
We love the trivia.
Have we confirmed that the store is updated yet?
When I was looking on PSN, at least on the blog, when I was responding to comments and stuff, I think some people were saying it still wasn't up yet.
Gotcha.
But there was
they're saying it did update.
Oh, it did. Perfect.
Cool. Thank you, community. Giving us all the answers. Tabasco Boy, downloading it now. Thank you very much. You shan't be disappointed.
I think you'll enjoy it.
This game also supports trophies, has a full set.
It does, including the Platinum Trophy as well. So lots to see and do and unlock.
To reiterate, we are actually not using the Move controller today, although that is an option. We're using the classic PS3.
Yeah, it was always just an issue of kind of setup for us today. It's a lot to lug around to get the whole kit going. And then we have to calibrate it, and we're just sort of tight on space, and I tend to flail when I use the move, so I'm a large man.
This game will have you going through a variety of locales. We're in the forest right now, but it's quite diverse. There's some snowy areas. There's what else have we seen? There's like the plains. There's some underwater stuff.
Yep.
There's a bunch of different towns and villages.
Yeah, I mean it's a massive game. Yeah, actually, there's the space sequence. Yeah. Well, that's kind of the thing about this game too. Is just it's like if you sit there and describe every bit of it, like it's a game about a dog who's a deity, and then at one point you're in space, and it's just like there's so much meat to this game. It is hard to really like go from just zero and try to explain like the concept to someone without sounding completely insane.
It's one of those games like no one would ever think to ask for this. It's like no one knew they wanted this.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone wanted it. You all got a game where you're a dog and you can paint pictures and go into space, and then later you shrink down and go inside a body. That's actually a Chris Antista joke. I want to take credit for that.
I do remember that though. Sadly, we cannot do anything in here yet, I don't think. Unless there's a chest. There is not. So has the community been keeping up with the pumpkin carving stuff and some of the other things we've been doing?
Yeah, we had a lot going on in the last week to celebrate this launch. We had a pumpkin carving contest. We're about to announce the winners to that. It was actually really hard. We had a pretty heated debate going on about that. Some teeth were gnashed. I'm not gonna lie. We had a fan art submission thing. Just if you wanted a Capcom Unity Okami badge, I was hooking people up with that to just show us their favorite fan art. We have actually this is still in progress. We have an Ami combo video contest. If you're an MVC player, you can show us your best Ami combo.
We've gotten some pretty good submissions on that so far.
Serious players out there. We're going to choose 5 winners to win a copy of this game, or rather a download code.
I'm out of seeds.
I'm glad people like the badge. I actually designed that myself, and I spent way too much time trying to get it right. People asking about the playthrough time. Yeah, my first playthrough was well over 70 hours. I think it was like 77.
Yeah.
And I skipped a bunch of stuff. I didn't get all the collectibles. I don't think I even got all the brush techniques. But I've also heard of people clearing it within like 25. So I think it's rather flexible in that sense.
Yeah.
But it really is. I talk about this sometimes. I feel like this game were released today. They could have released like a third of it, and then had the other parts of it come out as expansions later on.
Yeah.
Ironically, this was released today. Don't worry, guys. It's all intact.
Yeah.
Three very substantial acts.
Yeah, they're very sizable.
Side quests, mini games, to bite people.
That in and of itself is a mini game.
It's basically a metagame.
Yeah. Just bite everyone.
That is the kanji for happiness, mind you. And you get those happiness kanjis every time you make someone happy. Which you can do in a variety of ways, which are all also sort of mini games. You can feed these animals. You have to find the right food for each type of animal.
Here we have some lovely deer.
When you make trees bloom. So, I mean, it's hard to not like this game. All you do is go around making things happy, and it makes you happy. That's the lesson to be learned. It makes you happy to make other things happy. And that's why I think this game is like therapy. You know, like I'm not shy to admit when I was playing through this for the very first time, I was not in the happiest place in life. Nothing particular was going on. I was just like post college, didn't really know what I was doing with myself, and so I was playing video games. And I just remember like bummed out one day, but then I was like thinking about this game. So peaceful. I don't usually get that affected by a game in that way. You know, there are games that I thought were fun or that gave me like the adrenaline or were exciting, but few games have actually like put me in this weird happy place.
It is pretty soothing to play.
So on that note, speaking of making people happy, why don't I try and make at least one person happy with a code? Let me put down the mic for a second, figure this out.
That works too. So just as a reminder, this is running at full native 1080p, which we generally don't always do for our sort of HD remake titles. For this one, the team really went above and beyond, kind of reworking some of the existing graphics and textures and stuff, and kind of cleaning things up where they really needed it, and just ensuring that, you know, this is going to be the ultimate Okami experience, and visually, I mean, it shows. And this area isn't really accessible yet. I'm using it. Ready for trivia? So kind of the cool thing about the enemies in this game is all of them can be sort of tackled in different ways depending on the items you currently have equipped or the brush techniques that you have at the moment. So kind of figuring that out as you take them on is sort of part of the fun. There is a platinum trophy. All right, what do we have here? So throughout the game, you will acquire various treasures, which you can then sell for a tidy sum.
All right, code is incoming with question marks. So I'm going to give you a hint as to what those question marks should be. So, in Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, there was a free DLC mode, and it allowed you to take sides in battle as one of two different teams. Those two different teams are the name of the mode. Now, if you were to take the initials of that mode, you would have your answer. And I'm seeing the answer in the chat. So go ahead and don't tell me, fill it in on PSN. That was fast. Looks like someone got it. On the other hand, guys, I don't know if you want to trust the chat because, you know, they might try to trick you into thinking it's already taken so that they can have a higher chance.
I was gonna say this is a pretty cutthroat distribution method. I've never seen this.
We do it from time to time. Usually when we're feeling sussy.
All right, I think we sort of cleared the area, collected various treasures. Let's go talk to the fishing boy.
We're not streaming Marvel today, those of you who are here for a fight. This is strictly an Okami day.
All right, here we go. Boy of the Forest, Kokari.
As a heads up, the next time we do a code, I think I'll make it a trivia question for those who aren't at their console right now.
This kid needs our help, Greg. And now we're going to give him a headbutt. A little tough love. This game's about lessons.
I like that your different equipment actually appears cosmetically.
I like that as well.
Not enough games do that. Especially back then.
Yeah, actually for the time that was pretty different. I mean, now you have more real-time rendering to where active equips sort of do appear in cutscenes, but yeah, at the time it was not all that common.
I mean, granted, she's still totally naked, but it's a cool effect. M4013 8th Wave, if that is your real name. We actually did stream Mega Man on Friday, and we've been streaming Mega Man games actually more than any other game. We've been streaming it monthly, so stay tuned. We'll have another one next month. I would say this is one of the better fishing mini games in a game. I like that there are so many parts to it. You know, you gotta draw the line, you gotta reel it in, and you gotta use that power slash. What do you think of this music? Giant enemy crab.
Nailed it. Kid is really into it. And then there's the VO in this game, which is also weirdly delightful in its way.
It can be a polarizing thing. I, for one, am in favor, and I think that they did a all-around bang-up job with the localization in this game. You know, it's quite a challenge when you're dealing with a game so deeply rooted in a specific culture. And, you know, this is all folklore that most non-Japanese people probably don't know. But I think they did a great job. You know, it was cool because the game had this sort of casual voice to it, and almost sort of modern voice at times, depending on the character, that I think allowed it to transfer well when they localized it. But I do think that if they had gone the actual voiceover route, it would have been to the game's detriment, you know, because, like, I just think it would be hard to have these people speaking actual English and still make it convincing.
No, I mean, I would agree. I think they did a really good job of keeping it accessible in spite of sort of the...
And,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
It's an abstract sound style to match the abstract art style, and I think it makes perfect sense. The game is supposed to, you know, stimulate your imagination like games used to all do. Well, how about another code? This will be a trivia question. So, answer the question in the chat. I will put the question in the chat, and then whoever we see answer it first, I will send you a private message. And keep in mind, we have to explain this every time, but keep in mind that due to the nature of the chat and the fact that so many people will be answering at the same time, depending on your connection, the display order may vary. So we're just going off our screen. So there's a element of randomness to this. So enter at your own risk.
All right, now I've stolen this from the kid. Let's go save his beloved dog. Oh, actually, while we're here.
Okay, trivia question is incoming.
That is an excellent question.
Putting your Japanese to the test. Note that, like any translation, it's open to a bit of interpretation, but try to be specific. The trivia question being, Okami in the context of this game has two meanings. What are they? It's a Japanese pun there.
Oh, seriously?
Oh. Where are we?
I think we're having a connection issue right now.
Sorry guys, as I had admonished earlier, the chat, the computer with the chat did lose connection temporarily, so I might have to do some... Whoa,
There
okay,
it
here's our Huckleberry. So, let me get up to speed here. Okay, here we go. Okay, people getting wolf, god and mother, wolf, sun goddess. Man, a lot of wrong answers. I'm surprised. All right, I have a correct answer here. It is Hino Good. Hino Good, I am sending you a code.
Congrats.
Well done.
So for the rest of the class, Greg, what was the correct answer?
So yeah, Okami, it means wolf, and it also means great god or deity or great spirit, depending on your interpretation. The joke being that Ami in this game is both. I don't know if that even really qualifies as a joke. It's more of a thing. Alright, so Hino Good, you're going to want to check your PMs. We do have a few more codes to give away, so never fear. The game is also only 20 bucks, and it's one of the best things of all time. So
One of the best things, just in general.
don't
Independent
don't
of
take
games.
it too hard if you don't end up winning one for free.
Yeah, I would say $20 for this much content and this caliber.
That's like
Of a
what, less
title.
than 30 cents an hour?
If you want to break it down by that,
Something
yes.
like that. And that's if you only play through it once.
There is a ton to do between the stray beads, all the brush techniques. There is a lot to see and do. Really? Killing me. So earlier this week we posted our sort of top 5 favorite moments from the game. And we put out a request to see other people's favorite moments. Does anyone want to share theirs in the chat?
Yeah, if you guys didn't see that, it's still up on Capcom together a little video. The angle was, since this is such a long game, you know, you're bound to get hooked eventually because there's just so much cool stuff going on. But in reality, the first hour alone is full of cool stuff that'll get you hooked.
That was sort of how that conversation started too. It was like we all had our sort of different moments from the game, and it was like, well, what if we just sort of narrow it down and limit it to like just the first hour, and we each kind of had our own thing. So I think it's a testament to the game in that there's just so much stuff to see and do.
Sort of a Japanese ink painting simulator. Simulates the life of the subjects of those paintings.
Alright, here we go.
Sort of demonic bulb. Think you can pull off a counter on one of these enemies? Maybe not. Maybe this isn't the one to do.
Yeah, I don't think on this one I can, but...
Kind of reminds me of the Nightmare enemy in DMC1. You guys remember that? DMC fans? Or that Shadow Cat thing.
I remember that in DMC1.
That game had a lot of enemies with like balls you attack. You know what I mean?
I do.
You like expose the you expose a mystic ball and attack it.
Yeah, I do remember that actually.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure all of the enemy designs in this game are either directly or indirectly based off Japanese myths and yokai, as they're called. Mythological, fiendish beings.
What is that?
You guys ever seen the, there's a yokai that looks like an umbrella, but it bites you? A lot of yokai look like things.
I'm having issues with this ball.
They say the ball is trolling you.
The ball is trolling me
I'm
pretty hard right
inclined to
now. Okay, it's very slowly
Call yourself a
and
god.
purposefully.
Wonder what happens if you slash it though. Are we sure this is where you need to put it?
I'm fairly certain. I don't know, chat. Am I out base here? Truth be told, I haven't played in a little while. Alright.
Is it just gonna close? Like a Mr. Bean sketch.
Yeah. There we go.
You just gotta believe.
Nailed it. And I guess while we're here, let's cut some stuff.
This is the god that vanquished Orochi.
But still struggles with
Struggles with the ball.
basic ball physics.
She is still a dog.
It's true. She's just enjoying herself. Alright, now there's two of them. Let's just do that real quick. Let's see if we can... Very nice. Hopefully we'll have time to get to the boss. A little sunshine indeed, Mason. If we just get an Ain't No Sunshine when she's gone, I like it.
I think it's time for another code, so I'm going to do another trivia question. So go ahead and look in the chat. As I said before, display order varies from one connection to the next, so we'll just be going off our screen to see who has the first answer. Man, that was fast.
Whoa.
Forgettable
All right.
username, you're the one. I'm gonna message you a code.
Actually, did we finish over here? You guys are very much on it with the trivia.
Cool, forgettable username. I have sent you a message. Check that out for your free code. Mazel tov. The question, of course, was the foxy wood sprite Sakya has what fruit built into her character design? It may seem a bit subtle at first, but she in fact has a peach, or a white peach, built right in there.
Built right in there.
I mean built. Huh?
Hi-oh.
Well, hello, NG user 00. He's a loser. Amp says, this game's so good I can't even troll in good conscience. Yeah.
Oh no.
I appreciate that. I agree.
I know, as I recall. What a delightful design.
That, yeah. A lot of, this game was developed by Clover, and those guys are big on putting living doors in their games.
Yeah, that is kind of a thing.
They still make games. They still do that, I see, sometimes.
Did Bayonetta have that?
Bayonetta, I don't recall. I think it had doors that you could beat up, but Shadows of the Damned, which was a Mikami joint, at least in some respect it was. That had very similar doors. God Hand, which was still Clover, that had them. I think Max Anarchy does as well.
Interesting. Blockhead.
So, why do we gather fruits and vegetables and such? You know about that?
In the game?
Yeah.
To fill our astral pouch?
You have an astral pouch, which looks suspiciously like a stomach.
Or like a weird fanny pack?
Like a weird, yeah.
I think I saw a cosplay where someone had a astral pouch fanny pack
That's cool.
at one of the events we did this year.
But yeah, so when you fill that thing, it basically acts as a life, an extra life. So if you die, that will take the place of your life. Love that. This is one of my favorite gimmicks in the game, is this blockhead guy.
He died a warrior's death.
It's a little sad that he is now dead.
We actually got a pumpkin submission from someone who did a blockhead style pumpkin,
pretty
which I have to
spot
say was hands down one of my favorites. Really, really good. If you're in the chat, you are amazing. Let's just go ahead and grab this key.
Yeah, the one we just saw only had 2 weak points, and it's sort of a memory game. You have to remember where you saw those weak points and then tap them with your brush. Later on in the game, you get some pretty tough ones. I'll just leave it at that.
Alright, here we go. Here we have a blue scroll.
Does this have rumble support? I thought all games did.
Yeah, it does, yeah. Even the PS2 version actually had rumble support.
Oh, yes. So I'm going to go ahead and do another trivia question here. So if you want to look in the chat, hopefully we won't lose our connection again. Oops. It's in there. This one's a little tough. Question is, what does Nami of Kamiki Village do for a living? What is her... Ooh, someone got it. And it's Zonic, no less. Hey, Zonic. I'm going to send you a code. The answer is make sake.
Sorry, what am I doing?
Zonic, you have been messaged. Go ahead and check that PM box for your DL code.
Here we are.
And we have one code left. Would you guys prefer if I did another trivia question for the last code, or do you want me to do it like the first one where I enter it in the chat and then put some question marks in? Just take a poll here.
Oh, let's drop a bomb, shall we?
Like the first one. Okay, I'll do the code in the chat then. I think make sake was a sufficient answer. People debating that in chat. I think brewing sake and making sake are about the same quality of answer. This is not really a semantics issue.
She only bottles and distills. She has external distributors.
Also, you know, I still feel like the majority of the people watching this are people who are fans of the original and who would like to play the upgrade. So I think a 3-to-2 ratio of trivia questions to just entering the code in the chat is pretty fair. I'll leave that to your judgment, though.
Is anything consistent? And looks like we have pure concentrated evil pouring out of these.
Alright, last code is going in the chat, and there is one question mark. And I will speak the hint as to what that question mark might be. So the question mark is the first initial of a character, a Capcom character, who has gotten some attention recently. Let's see, what can I say here? You will find that in recent tellings, he is half demon and half angel. So we're looking for the first initial of that character. So don't tell me, but enter it into your PSN redeem code section. Not Wesker. Virgil is a fair guess, but I'll give you a hint. It's not Virgil.
This is a spectacular view.
That said, if you guys are MVC players, we still have a day left in that MVC Ami combo contest, and we're giving away 5 codes for that as well. So you can impress us. Give it a shot. What's up on Capcom Unity? Let me
We're
find
having
out for
some
you.
pretty impressive submissions so far, actually, I have to say.
So competition is a bit steep, perhaps. But again, you know, the game is out, and even if you can't get it for free, it's one of the best things ever.
Ever.
Probably one of the easier things to justify, too. It's 20 bucks.
Not a bad deal.
You get between 25 and 80 hours, depending on your experience. I'll put a link in for that combo contest.
Got some lovely oranges.
Are we having code problems? To give a bigger hint, the missing letter was D for Dante. If you try it, and it wasn't valid, then that means someone got it. I've just double checked the code, and it is indeed at least entered correctly based on what I have. So
It is possible that maybe someone in chat is silent and redeeming it.
yeah, could be that whoever downloaded it is now playing Okami HT.
We've already dived in.
Oh, PM code not working? Whose PM code is not working? Let's take a look at the messages then.
No, that should work.
People asking about the combo contest. It ends tomorrow just before noon Pacific time. He no good. If you're having trouble with the code, if you can PM us real quick and let us know what it says when you try to redeem it, and try and get that ironed out. In theory, these should all work. They're all just taken from a giant list they provide us.
What a delightful means of getting around. We're sort of at the end here, aren't we?
Alright, looks like our connection for the chat is fading. And it also looks like a couple of you have professed to having problems with your code. Please PM us back on Twitch and we'll get that sorted out. Apologies for that. Not really sure why that would happen, but we'll figure it out. And for now, though, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. Whoop, there we are. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Again, Okami HD out today on PSN, 1999, out tomorrow in Europe. And it supports the move, it supports trophies, one of the best things ever, and it's really long and good. So hope you check it out one way or the other. Thanks for tuning in. We'll have more streams coming up soon.
We will. And yes, big thank you to everyone who came out at the events, cosplayers, people who did pumpkins, all the contest stuff we've done. We really couldn't have done this without you guys, so this really was a huge fan service project
Really
for
happy
us.
to see such turnout.
Yeah, I know, it's
Awesome.
been great. And the fans, I mean, we have amazing fans, and this title really cemented that. So big thanks to everyone who participated, and definitely check the game out.
Thanks, guys. See
Bye,
ya.
guys.